King Leopold II of Belgium took control of the Congo Free State in 1885, ruling it as his personal property rather than as a Belgian colony. He gained international recognition by claiming his mission was humanitarian and focused on ending slavery and promoting trade. In reality, his rule created one of the most violent systems of exploitation in modern history. The Congo Free State was organized to extract rubber and ivory for European markets. Congolese communities were forced to meet strict production quotas under threat of punishment. Leopold's private colonial army, the Force Publique, enforced these demands through widespread violence, including beatings, executions, village burnings, and the taking of women and children as hostages to control workers. One of the most documented abuses was the severing of hands. Soldiers were required to account for their ammunition, and amputated hands were used as proof that bullets had been used to kill or punish rather than wasted. This practice became a symbol of the brutality of Leopold's regime. The consequences were devastating. Forced labor, starvation, disease, and violence led to a massive population decline across the region. Although exact numbers remain debated, historians agree that millions of Congolese died during Leopold's rule. Entire communities were destroyed, and traditional social structures were severely damaged, setting the stage for long-term instability. Leopold's rule, the Congo Free State became a land of terror. Villagers were forced to collect rubber under brutal quotas. Failure meant amputation, beatings, or death. Entire communities were terrorized. Some fled into the forests, only to be hunted down. The Force Publique, Leopold's private army, imposed fear systematically, killing millions. Villages were burned, crops destroyed, and children taken as hostages to enforce compliance. News of these atrocities slowly reached Europe, sparking outrage. Yet Leopold concealed the extent of his crimes, presenting himself as a humanitarian ruler. Only decades later did international pressure force Belgium to annex the territory in 1908, ending Leopold's personal reign of terror. The Congo's population, culture, and economy suffered irreparable damage, and the legacy of exploitation haunted the region for generations. Leopold's actions remain a stark example of colonial greed unchecked by conscience. After Belgium took control in 1908, the Congo Free State became the Belgian Congo. But exploitation continued, though less violent. Infrastructure like railways and ports was expanded to extract resources efficiently. Forced labor persisted in mining and plantations, and Congolese people remained under strict colonial rule. Missionaries and reformers documented abuses, and gradual reforms were implemented. Yet the scars of Leopold's reign lingered. Indigenous leadership structures were disrupted, and economic dependence on foreign powers grew. The population slowly began to recover, but social, cultural, and political systems had been devastated. The Congo's struggle for autonomy and dignity persisted for decades, eventually fueling nationalist movements that culminated in independence in 1960. Leopold's era left an indelible mark on the world's perception of colonialism, serving as a warning about unchecked power, greed, and human suffering. Belgium annexed the Congo in 1908. Colonial rule continued many exploitative practices begun under King Leopold II. The administration focused on extracting rubber, ivory, copper, and later minerals, while offering minimal benefit to Congolese communities. Railways, ports, and infrastructure were built primarily for resource export. Forced labor persisted, and racial hierarchies established under Leopold remained entrenched. The demographic impact of Leopold's regime was severe. Millions died from killings, starvation, and disease, leaving social structures weakened and leadership networks fractured. Villages and cultural institutions were destroyed, erasing traditional governance and knowledge systems. Generations grew up in a society shaped by coercion, fear, and economic dependency. Awareness of Leopold's atrocities remained limited for decades. Research, publications, and activism in the late 20th and early 21st centuries brought renewed attention. Museums, historians, and some governments now formally recognize the scale of the crimes, though debate over reparations continues. Today, the Democratic Republic of the Congo faces challenges rooted in this history. Ongoing resource exploitation, political instability, and social inequality trace back to systems established under Leopold II. His personal wealth came at the cost of millions of lives, and the Congo's struggles reflect the deep, enduring impact of his brutal regime.
Are you a fan of dark histories, paranormal stories, and crime documentaries? Subscribe for more.
Narrativia, where words weaves wonders.
Like, share, and follow for more.
This content was generated with the assistance of artificial intelligence for storytelling, narration, and visual presentation purposes. While care has been taken to provide an engaging and informative experience, some elements may be dramatized or simplified. The video is intended for entertainment and general educational use only. Viewers are encouraged to enjoy the presentation and independently verify facts, conduct their own personal research, and form their own conclusions. The creator assumes no responsibility for interpretations or actions taken based on this content. Thank you.